to another episode of More Content Talk. That's the only show that cuts through the glam, the glitz, and all the bullshit to bring you the truthiest news that we can find. Well, folks, you've heard it before. Live fast, die young. And I'm going to ask this from, a completely objective standpoint. And I'm going to ask you to think about it really hard. Exactly what good is that mentality, this live fast, live hard, die young mentality? What good has that ever gotten anyone? I mean, you can go all the way back to folks like James Dean, Marilyn Monroe, Jimi Hendrix. You can go on and on and on. What's the point? What is the point of the thrill of the moment? Does it lead you to some sort of otherworldly realm where you no longer have to suffer from disease and heartache and depression? Is that what it does for you? That thrill, does it get you through the week, really? Or did it just get you through the night? And what's so important about this night in particular that you had to do this thing to get that thrill? Why? Why is life have to be thrilling? Is life a fucking amusement park? It seems like it is to some people, right? They're always talking about going on a ride or going for some thrill, or, they want to feel a high of some sort. There's always something somewhere. Even when people are high, they're looking for the next high. They want to eat, right? When does it end? When are you satiated? When are we satiated as human beings? What is the point of continuously seeking gratification? It's a good question. And I don't know the answer to it. Because if it's all just about living it up and nobody ever gets down, then why do we live in an age where there's probably more mental disorders than there have ever been? More depression than there's ever been. Why is that? I mean, there are the easy answers, of course. Things like alcohol. I mean, you get depression when you drink a lot. It's true. Alcohol is a depressant. Doesn't really lift you up or anything. People who are drunk off their ass are not really trying to make the world a better place. It's just the reality of the thing, But what is it inside of us that's driving us toward oblivion? What is the obsession with thrill-seeking? Now, I did an episode on death-defying quacks, is what it's called, where I talked about the thrill seeker, the person who does the death-defying act, the stuntman, or woman, or whatever it may be. What is it about them that drives them? I don't know, but there's also something in people in general that make them want to be around these situations. For example, I saw the young people on TikTok. They were doing knockout challenges or chokeout challenges or whatever challenge. They're always dangerous. They're always harming each other, essentially. And by the way, that's not new. When I was young, they had stuff like that too. They did it on YouTube back then. So nothing changes. It's not TikTok. Because, I know a lot of people, they're just going to blame the platform. They're going to think, okay, well, if we just get this platform right, then people are going to stop seeking these thrills. Well, that's not true. You're going to lose that company money. And, hey, maybe the company will go out of business, but another one will come along. And then when you take that one down, another one will come along. And then 3 more, and then 4 more on top of that, and 5 more. Because there's always going to be people trying to make money. And you're supposed to train your kids to the point of where they can see through dumb shit. That's the reality. They need training. You can't think of your kids like just like your friends. They're more like employees. And I don't mean in the sense that they need to work for you and, wipe your ass or anything like that. I'm just saying they're going out into a job, the world, which requires skill and knowledge, and you're supposed to train them. I know you think that's what you pay your teacher for or their teacher for, but they need you too. They need you to guide them, and because in the classroom they're not teaching about scams. They in the classroom they teach you everyone's a good person. You imagine? Silly stuffs that sometimes just because of liability issues, you're not allowed to expose all the scam artists. The scam artist has a lobby in the right. And they make sure that real history doesn't get taught. So you don't learn about scams. And I sincerely believe that's the reason they don't want any critical anything. Critical thinking, critical race theory, critical nothing in school. Because then you might wise up to the scams that go on in the world. I remember my dad very young. He taught me, this whole thrill-seeking thing, there's nothing in it. As soon as you do the thing that impresses everyone, you're going to be left with the hospital bill. So what's the point? You're the one who has to pay for it. They're not going to come to the hospital and pay your bills. You have to pay for it. And so when you're doing that punch challenge, or you're doing a knockout challenge, or you're, jumping off a cliff to impress your friends, it's only going to impress them for a few seconds, and then they're going to completely forget about it and find some other friend and get to do some stupid shit. And if they're making you do stupid shit, are they really your friend? So what the fuck do you care? Who cares about, thrills? I just don't care. That's my thing. I'm not boring. I mean, for fuck's sake, I perform for, thousands, tens of thousands of people. I'm not boring. I just don't care anymore. I don't care if you clap for me because you see me on YouTube. I mean, shit. Who cares, If you do, you do. I mean, that's your thing, but it's not a requirement for me. I don't get my self-worth from that. But I guess some people do. I guess some people really, they get self-worth from making an asshole out of themselves and having people laugh at them. Or, putting themselves in dangerous situations and just taking that risk. Because life is all about risks. I've heard that one too. I've heard a lot of people say, well, if you don't take risks, then it's, you're not living. You're not alive. You hear people say YOLO, you got to take risks, you only live once, right? That's true. That is very true. You only live once. And if you're taking risk all the time, if life is all about taking a risk, you're just giving yourselves more opportunity to die, to end your life. And that doesn't matter, your life could end at any time. I'm just saying, you're giving yourself more opportunity. Why do that? Why tempt the fate, I don't get it. I guess it's fun. I guess you need that in life. I guess some people do. I guess, for me, I already almost died in a very gruesome way. So what's the point? I figure, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to one of these parties that, and I'm talking about parties in particular because I can hear one going on, down the street. If you listen, you can hear the terrible auto-tune music going on. And why is that a party thing now? Like, when did auto-tune become required party music? This is the thing. There's not a lot going on at these parties. That's my point. It's really bad auto-tune. It sounds like T-Pain. Talk to me, I talk back. Get the booze, slap that back. I mean, what, like, I don't see the point in it, bro. I like brosive, brocess, like, whatever. Like, they got the really bad auto-tune on, people got their camera phones out, taking selfies every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds, you got to take a selfie when you go to a party. You can't get away from people with their goddamn phones trying to take pictures of you. And they ain't going to use half those fucking pictures. That's the thing, is you never see those pictures that they take at the party on Facebook. They never put them on Facebook. They never like to put them on Facebook, so what's the point of taking them? I don't know. It's vanity to me. Just look at me. That whole look at me thing. You know, I'm always talking about my episodes about coronavirus, and you know that Delta virus is back and ready to take people out. The CDC said it was like chickenpox, but they're at the super spreader events. They're throwing the house parties. It's almost like they plan them. Like they wait until COVID spreads and then they get together and do the parties, you know. I don't know. I guess being on the brink of disaster really gives, you know, that's part of the American way. You really got to, you know, pump that in there and make sure that you're just, you know, doom is right around the corner. Otherwise, what's the point of life? If we're not having imminent doom, then what's the point of life? I mean, seriously, you all have been watching too many superhero movies. That you live your lives like superheroes, but you have no powers whatsoever. It's the lamest superhero movie I've ever seen. I mean, you know, you all can't even... And you know what's crazy? Superheroes wear masks. They do, goddammit. And look at you. You sitting here bitching about it. See that? You don't want to be a superhero. You don't have the powers, you don't have the mask, and you don't have the fucking costume unless you're a fucking furry, in which case that's not really a superhero. That's just kind of an odd fantasy that you have. So that doesn't even count. I mean, my goodness, if you're going to do something, do it right. If you want to be a superhero, you know, put that mask on, get a cape, and, you know, fly, you know, act like you're flying all over the place like my 5-year-old does, if that's what makes you happy. But I mean, the least you could do is wear it when you throw in these shitty parties. And, you know, play some good music, for fuck's sake. That's all I'm asking. Hey, the motherfucker, you hear him screaming? You hear this motherfucker screaming? Ah! 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 Oh, we're having a party. Ah! Ah! Oh, party, 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 party. Ah! What is the point? I don't know. All right. And I don't care. And you know what? Sometimes it's good not to care, because then you don't have to ruin anyone's fun. Then they have no one to blame. It's their fault at that point. Because if you say something about it, if you try to advise these people, you know what they'll do? When they get sick, they'll come to you and blame you. And they'll say, if you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have gotten sick. Let them get sick. Maybe some of them, they need a wake-up call in their life or something. Maybe going to the hospital is good for them. I don't know. Just please keep your shitty-ass auto-tune music out of my fucking ears. Like, if you have any courtesy, play real music at these parties that you're throwing at, you know, midnight. Play good, solid music, not auto-tune. All right? I mean, it's like you're trying to torture me here. Okay, take it easy, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to More Content Talk. Please share the show as much as you possibly can. I think it's a good little piece of podcast history, personally, because it combines history along with just, you know, news and gossip and pretty much anything you can imagine. Sports even sometimes. So please, you know, share accordingly. You can find us at More Content Talk at YouTube, TikTok, as well as Instagram. And you can also follow us on Twitter at more_content_PLS. All right, everyone. Have a phenomenal day, evening, afternoon, siesta, fiesta, downtime, chill time, nap time, pre-party, after-party. And remember, whenever life gets you down, you could always laugh at something else. Farewell, folks. Party! Sorry. Bye.